What you mean you don't know Pana? She's dope. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? What is poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl DOPEaxxPANA, and today I am doing a color correction on my client, and I did make this a Slayer name because I'm going to be trying to get as close as I can to this Pinterest inspo pic. So if you guys think that I nailed it, I want you guys to drop fire emojis in my comment section, and if you guys think I missed the mark, go ahead and drop blue hearts in my comment section. So to pull the color out, I'm using Joico Color Intensity Eraser. This was actually my first time using this color eraser, or actually any color eraser. I went ahead and mixed it with this 20 volume Lumishine, and I'm gonna be applying this all over wherever her color is. There are some areas where her color had already faded, and so I'm not gonna be touching that section because I don't need to, but I'm really trying to do my best to pull out this blue. I had heard that blue was a really hard color to pull out, so I kind of just wanted to see how well this worked. This was my first time actually removing color, I believe. Yes, I went ahead and applied that all over, and just a little history on her hair. I've been coloring her hair since the beginning of last year, I believe. She started out and we did like purple highlights, which were really cute. After that, we went ahead and added in some more highlights and did magenta, so we kind of like started off really soft. And then this most recent color that has faded, we had actually done magenta, purple, and blue. And basically at that point, a majority of her hair was colored. So her color had grown out a lot because at that point it was touching her root. So what I'm also going to be doing in this video is going in and doing like a highlight retouch and bringing the color up in the front only. So the Joico Color Eraser, it said that you can leave this on the hair up to 30 minutes, so I went ahead and timed it. After 30 minutes, you can kind of see that like it had lifted to a certain level where it wasn't really going to pull any more out anyway, and so I went ahead and rinsed it at that point. So yeah, this is what it looks like after I took the color eraser off, and mind you, this is wet, and you guys know when you guys blow dry hair, it does come out a lot lighter. So I went ahead and blow dried her hair, and then I went in and did my highlight retouch. So you guys can see that it pulled out like pretty much all that purple. There are some strands of blue that are still in there that are really pigmented, and because she wanted a yellow initially on her ends to really match that picture, we were gonna do a red to orange to yellow. I knew that I had to get rid of that blue because obviously it would have just turned it green, and that would have really messed up my color palette. So yeah, I'm gonna go in and do my highlights first, and then once I'm done doing my highlight retouch, I'm gonna go ahead and put bleach on, mainly focusing on those areas where there's still blue, and see if I can like either pull that out or get it to be a little bit more pastel, because in some areas it was really pigmented, and I know it's probably hard to see in the video, but I knew that like I had to really get that out of there. So for here, I'm kind of just going in, like I said, and doing like a highlight retouch. I'm really just bringing this up, and I only did this partially, so I only did it in the front. My pattern for doing these highlights I didn't really show, but like I do like little triangular sections, and really like I didn't learn this anywhere. This is just the way I like to do it because I don't like my highlights to fall and be like super symmetrical. So yeah, I do like basically like three triangle sections. If you guys ever want me to show you that, I can show you how I do that. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this at the root. To do this, I'm using Schwarzkopf Blonde Me, and I'm using only 10 volume developer because it's really strong, and since I'm putting red at her root, I really didn't need her to be like extremely light or over processed. So I went ahead and did that, and then once each section was ready, I went ahead and sprayed it out. I'm using Alpui's Moisture Mist to spray out my lightener, and the reason why I'm spraying it out is because I'm still gonna go back through and put the lightener on the ends of her hair, so I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't sitting in her hair and over processing it. In some areas I kind of left a little bit of the lightener in because it didn't get to the level that I wanted it to get to, so I wanted it to sit for just a little bit longer. So when I'm done, if you guys see little areas that are still kind of white, that's why. So here I'm moving fairly quick, and I'm using the same Blonde Me and 20 volume to apply to anywhere that I really just seen the blue super pigmented in her hair. I am moving really quick on this just because from my experience this lightener is really strong, and I don't want to like over process her hair. It's already been bleached a couple times, so I definitely knew that this wasn't something I can leave sitting on her hair. I just kind of wanted to try to get some of those really pigment areas to be a little bit more pastel and pull that blue out. At this point, like as I saw this lightener working, I realized that we were not going to be able to do the yellow. I've never done yellow on anyone's hair before, but just from what I know from school, their hair needs to be extremely light in order for that yellow to take. And so I basically told her that instead of doing a red to orange to yellow, we could just do a red to orange, and I still think she would get that fiery effect. I just didn't want to take a chance of putting the yellow on and then it not taking. So this is what the color looked like after I let that lightener sit. I don't think I let it sit for more than like 10 minutes at the most. Like I said, her hair has already been like lightened, and I just didn't want it to be like super over processed. So yeah, so the bleach did help a lot. This is after I rinsed it out, and you guys can see that some of those areas turned super pastel-y, which is what I wanted. And I wasn't really too worried about the color at the top because I feel like I put red over a lot of stuff before and it kind of worked out. I was really concerned about that blue going, you know, putting an orange or yellow on top of it. So in the top right corner, that's what the hair was like after I did the Joico eraser. And then in the frame that I'm still working right now, I'm showing you guys what it looks like after I did the bleach. So for my color line, I am using Paul Mitchell PopXG red and orange, and I really actually like the PopXG line. I feel like I've used other colors from different brands before, and they're very translucent. And the thing that I like about the Paul Mitchell ones is that I feel like when you don't have a perfect canvas, they really do hide a lot. And so that's why I like to use PopXG, and the colors are still pretty vibrant. But if you're doing like a blue or something like that and your canvas is not perfect, I would really suggest Paul Mitchell PopXG. I'm also just very familiar with the colors, and I know that they're very true to color, so that's another thing that I really like about it. But yeah, I've just noticed with other brands I used before, like they either don't grab the hair as well, or like the canvas has to be super light. So yeah. So yeah, I'm just hand painting this color on. This is actually the most exciting part for me because I'm like, ooh, I get to see it, like what it's gonna look like. So yeah, basically I just do the red at the top first. I'm making sure that it's super saturated, and then I just blend the orange in. And yeah, PopXG, you let it process for 30 minutes, but I did it just for a little bit more, just because, I don't know, I feel like it'll grab the color more if I do that. And I noticed that some areas that were blue, I didn't really think that the orange would work out. I knew that it would probably neutralize a little bit, but I was like, you know, orange is really close to like a brown, so I didn't think it would be super noticeable, and in the end it actually wasn't. So to rinse out the color is really like a pain in the ass. I wanted to try my hardest to make sure that those colors didn't run over the top of each other, because I didn't want the red to bleed onto the orange and then it didn't really look like a defined difference. So yeah, it was just a headache. To rinse out, I'm using Joico Moisture Recovery just because I did a couple of processes on her hair, and I like this shampoo line. So basically, to rinse it out, I'm using pretty cool water, and I started by rinsing off the ends first, and I'm just being very careful with that to make sure that I'm not like rinsing off any of the red into it. So you guys can kind of see how I'm holding it up now. This is how I rinsed off the red. So I wanted it to fall kind of straight down and not really like run on top of the orange. So I'm gonna hold it up and then kind of spray it down. After I do that and I get most of that color out, then I can go in and kind of rinse everything all together. So anyone who follows my channel or has been in my lives, you know that this charcoal with citrus oil detoxifying hair mask by The Hair Chemist is my absolute favorite. And I looked up and found it for $3 at this discount Sally store by my house. So I ended up buying like 12 of them. But I literally swear by this stuff. It doesn't matter if you're doing like a silk press, if you're doing lightening services, like this will literally bring your hair back. I absolutely love it. I know I always show these products really quick, but I use the same one in like any of my heat videos that I'm using heat in. So I'm using the styling treatment oil from Awapui, that's by Paul Mitchell, and then the Awapui moisture mist. It's the same thing that I use to spray her bleach out. And yeah, basically I'm just gonna go through and blow dry it. And I was so nervous that the red had run into the orange, but my cousins were like, no, you can definitely see the orange. Sometimes I'm like, when I'm doing color, I'm like, I don't know if I like it. But as I kept blow drying, I was like, wow, this came out a lot better than I expected, especially since my canvas wasn't super even and I didn't have any toners on hand in the salon. So I'm fairly new to coloring, and I don't do a lot of coloring services, so I just feel like I don't have a lot of inventory of stuff on stock. So I kind of just grabbed what I thought I needed from Cosmoprof and left out toners. So I was literally like having my fingers crossed this whole time that I could lift her color like well enough to do this blend, and it turned out really bomb. So yes, guys, I went in and I decided to do some iron work. She wanted to wear her hair curled, and as far as the Slayer Nay goes, it was really about color matching. It wasn't about the curls in the video because obviously this is like a whole different hair texture. But I do want you guys to let me know if you guys think I came close to the color. There are some areas that you guys can see are brown, and those are the areas that were super pigmented with the blue. But I just went in and did a trim. She had recently got her hair cut, but I was just kind of cleaning up that shape. I think when they cut it, her hair wasn't like as straight as it could be. So when I really got in there and like flat ironed it, it was slightly uneven. So I'm just going through and kind of like touching up that cut. And she did have a little bit of damage from the process that we did today. So I wanted just to make sure that she left with some healthy hair, like feeling bomb. So yes, guys, this here is my finished look. I am so excited. I love the blend of the highlights at the top. You guys can see that I brought the color up there, and when it's curled, you guys can really see those orange tips. I was literally like geeked that this even turned out to look like it looks. I'm super excited. I just only thing that I wish I could have done differently was fix my highlight blend at the top. A couple of those lines are really harsh, and I kind of wish that I just feathered it up in some of those areas instead of going to the root. So you can kind of see here on the side, yeah, kind of just like a couple harsh gaps. But other than that, I am loving this look, guys. She was so impressed. Make sure you guys cast your vote below, and I will catch you guys in my next video. What you mean you don't know Pana? She's dope. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? What you mean?